Minister, members of this House. At the very outset, let me say that the National Freedom Party supports this budget vote 3. And yes, we must not be surprised. In order for service delivery to be maintained, in order to deliver to the poorest of the poor, then we must support the budget. So let us not be surprised. Remember, if you don't pass the budget, it does not affect the haves. It does not affect the rich. It affects the poorest of the poor, so we must support the budget. The total budget allocation for the department is 1.3 billion, with a steady 6% increase foreseen in the medium term between 2016 and 2019. The National Freedom Party welcomes the general reduction in employee compensation evident in programs 1, 2 and 3 and in line with the call for austerity in government spending. We are also encouraged by the department's decision to focus on youth development in the ICT environment at a time when youth unemployment is reasonably high. Equally important, we note the progress made in gender transformation taking place in both the department and some of its entities. However, the National Freedom Party believes that too few women are in decision-making positions at Brand South Africa, and more should be done to ensure progress towards gender parity in this entity. The National Freedom Party further welcomes the reduction in the use of consultants. We have constantly maintained that government departments should minimize the use of consultants and build internal capacity by retaining expertise through permanent employment. We also welcome the proposed ban on alcohol advertising. Alcohol is a very harmful product, and we have to weigh up the advantage of generating income through advertising against the devastating effect alcohol has on healthcare in South Africa and the destruction of our society. Any reasonable government that is serious about the welfare of its citizens will not hesitate to make possible every effort to reduce potential harm, and accordingly, the National Freedom Party is fully in support of this ban. Another issue which we believe should be addressed by the Department of Communication is the negative reporting on South Africa, both locally and internationally. Whilst we in no way wish to detract from freedom of the press, and let us not misinterpret this in any way, the National Freedom Party believes that we also need to know about the good things that are happening in our country. We need more balanced reporting so that South Africans can keep faith in our country and to prove that all is not doom and gloom in South Africa. Consistent negative reporting has the potential to damage South Africans psychologically in the long term, and we run the risk of a society which has no faith in their future. The National Freedom Party welcomes and supports the recommendations made by the Portfolio Committee, and in particular approve of the recommendation that the department should make available a report on the compliance of municipalities on the use of community media projects when advertising. If we are serious about giving community media projects access to opportunities, we should start at local level rather than making use of national and international news and media agencies. As the National Freedom Party, we acknowledge the various strides made by the department, and in conclusion, the National Freedom Party supports vote 3. I thank you.